My daughter is in a critical week.
Oh,
Is it 7 o'clock?
I don't know.
it is 1,900 hours.
Minus them. Either that or it's 7 o'clock.
George Washington.
Yeah. Yeah, in Israel they live on a 24-hour.
Yeah.
They give time by the military.
Yeah, and they do in Germany.
They do everywhere outside the U.S.
Huh?
They do everywhere outside the
Much
US.
better. Thank you.
Thank you. It's nice to feel balanced once in a while. Wouldn't want to overdo it, but...
I'm way to the left. Everything's over there.
Shalom, everyone. Good to see everyone here, and I want to introduce you to my little friend. I think it was my interview weekend when I had asked the extended search committee, well, how would people feel if I played guitar on Friday night?
Love it.
And how many of you were there that day? I think that was lunch at the Mood. Remember the response?
Yeah.
Why did people get excited?
Yeah.
Well, here it is. I would like to invite up Courtney and Carol, who are our hosts for the Oneg tonight, to light the candles. The blessing is on page 120 in the Siddur. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with his vote, commanding us to kindle of Shabbat. We've come together this evening to pray as a congregation. Yet each of us is strangely solitary in your presence.
Each of us comes before you with special hopes and dreams. Each of us has personal worries and concerns.
Each of us has a prayer no one else can utter. Each of us brings praise no one else can offer.
Each of us feels a joy no one else can share. Each of us has regrets which others cannot know.
And so we pray. If we are weary, give us strength. If we're discouraged, give us hope.
If we have forgotten how to pray, remind us. If we have been careless of time, forgive us.
If our hearts have been chilled by indifference, warm them with your mercy and inspire us with the glowing spirit of your holy Shabbat. Amen. On page 138 is what is probably the most popular and best known of the Shabbat hymns, our song of welcome to the Sabbath bride, Lechadevi. As usual, we'll do verses 1, 2, 8, and 9, and just before verse 9, we will rise and face the entrance to welcome the Queen. Sometimes is welcoming somebody who's coming in late. On page 140 is the psalm that was designated by the priests and the Levites of the temple 2,000 years ago as the special psalm for the Sabbath day. Please read with me in the English. A psalm, a song for Shabbat. It is good to praise Adonai, to sing hymns to your name, O Most High, to proclaim your steadfast love and neighboring, your faithfulness each night, with a 10-string harp, with voice and lyre together. You have gladdened me by your deeds, Adonai. I shout for joy at your handiwork. How great are your words, Adonai. How very subtle are your signs. A brute cannot know, a fool cannot understand this. The righteous bloom like a daymon. They thrive like a cedar in Lebanon. Planted in the house of Adonai, they flourish in the courts of sacrificius, testing Adonai is right, my rock, in whom there is no wrong. On page 142, we welcome the special angels of Shabbat.
Let's turn to page 144 for the Pasuk Hallel. V'kada v'kada shene rava Yamadivra v'teriam v'malchutei V'hayet haluyah v'chon V'chayet v'chobek Yisrael V'hayet v'bizman ha'kari Ve'yirehu amen Yeshmerah v'lorah V'alamon ve'amayah Yisrael 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 Yisrael
Anything worth doing is worth inviting others to do with us. On page 146, we rise as we are able for Baruch, the official call to prayer. Page 148, we read together as we recognize all the wonders that God does for us in nature, particularly at this time of day, bringing on the evening. Together in the English. Blessed are you, Adonai, God, ruler of the universe, who sees the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alerts the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness to light, transforming day into night, distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Sabaoth is your name, ever-living God. You reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on in the evening. Baruch atah Adonai, Hamahamid Ha'arachim. On Page 151 at the bottom, we continue reading together as we prepare for the Shema. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol, all these things are a gift to us. And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. Truer token of your mighty love than this holiest of your works, in the living language that gives it form. Baruch atah Adonai, Elohem Amo Yisrael. We rise for the statement of faith, the Shema on page 52 and 3.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai, Eloheinu, Adonai, Adonai, Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai, Eloheinu, Adonai, Adonai, Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod, Al-Uso, Le'olam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai, Eloheinu, Adonai, Adonai, Echad.
We continue together in the Hebrew at the top of page 154. Please be seated if you need to, or remain standing as your own custom is. Ne'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, b'chol levacha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol echotecha, v'hayu ha'ravim ha'eleh, asher anochi mitzvacha hayom ha'levacha, v'shkinata ha'levacha, v'yivacha, v'shinnecha v'techa, u'lecha v'terech, u'shoklecha u'kumecha, u'shachamleot ha'levatecha, v'hayu tzachot peinecha, u'tacham ha'mezuzot v'techa, u'tisharecha. Leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai, v'yitem kedoshim le'Elohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem, asher hotzeiti echem be'eretz Mitzrayim, v'hiyot lachem Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem. You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. Take to heart these instructions which I charge you this day. Impress them upon your children. Recite them on each day when you lie down and when you get up. Bind them as a sign upon your hand. Let them serve as a symbol on your forehead. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Thus you shall remember to observe all my commandments and to be holy to your God. I am Adonai your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am Adonai your God. Adonai Elohechem. Please be seated. In the middle of page 157, please read with me response to questions. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory, and the earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again he overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea. On page 160 is the Jewish version of the Now I Lay Me Down to Sleep prayer. Yes, we have one. It's called Hashkivenu, and it is a prayer to Adonai to protect us, to cover us with God's sukkah of peace, shelter of peace, as we restore ourselves and our souls with a night's sleep, so that we can arise in the morning and get back to work as God's partners in fixing a broken world. Hashkivenu. Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, ve'ha'amidenu, shomerenu, ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, ותקננו בעצה טובה מלפניך, והושיענו למען שמך. והגן בעדנו, והסר מעלינו, אויב דבר וחרב ורעל, ויגון ויגון, והרחק ממנו אהרון מפרשה, וצל כנפיך אסתירנו, וצל כנפיך אסתירנו, כי אל שומרנו ומצילנו, מצילנו אתה, כי אל חנון ורחום אתה, ושמור צאתנו ובואנו לחיים ולשלום, מעתה ועד עולם, מעתה ועד עולם. השכיבנו, אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, והעמידנו, שומרנו לחיים. ופרוס עלינו סוכה שלומך, ברוך אתה אדוני, הפורש סוכה שלום, עלינו ועל Israel, On page 162, we remind ourselves that the people Israel shall keep Shabbat, observing Shabbat throughout the ages as a covenant for all On page, what page are we on? 64. We rise as we are able for the Tefillah, God, the central prayer of the service.
That my
is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el ha'kadosh. Continue, complete the Amidah silently to ourselves in Hebrew or in English or with the words in your heart through page 181. When you are finished, you may be seated. We prepare to take out and read from the Torah, and for that we turn to page 362. And I would like to invite up to open the ark for us all of the children who are here under the age of Bar Bat Mitzvah. Come on down. And Gabriel, will you carry the Torah? Do you have a talit? Do we have any talitot?
There's some in the cabinet that I think it's locked.
Wow. A lot of children. We're cheating a little bit. They're all from one family.
More than that, it's okay.
Just for future reference, people who set up, I would really like to have talitot and kippot out for all services.
In this room or outside the hall?
Wherever would be convenient for people to get a hold of them. And I would like, I don't know what the policy's been before, but I would very much like to see that whenever somebody comes up to the Torah for an aliyah or carries the Torah, that they have a talit on. I think it's appropriate. So hopefully there'll be a lead-in for just a moment for Gabriel. Page 362.
And then we'll let them know when to open, right?
We will.
Okay.
I'll give you the vice.
Ein kanocha v'elohim Adonai, tehem k'ma'asecha, malchusecha malchut olamim, u'menshatecha v'chol v'mador. Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Olam, Adonai Echad ve'Olam Va'ed, Adonai Eloheinu Yiteihem, Adonai Yivarehem, Hezbollah Shalom.
Please rise. Page 366, beginning with the Shema. And we call in response.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Echad Eloheinu, Adon Adonenu, Adon Shelo.
Echad Eloheinu, Adon Adonenu, Adon Shelo.
Adonai Omnimah Shemon Yahweh. Adonai Havetulo, Katidaret, Katidaret, Nechanetzach Le'avot. Ki Ol Hashamayim U'Baaretz, Ki Ol Hashamayim U'Baaretz. Adonai Amamacha, Ba'id Na'azel Lechol Rosh. Romevu,
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 Romevu, Adonai Eloheinu,
Ve'yishachadu, Ve'yishachadu, Ve'ha'aratza. Romevu,
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 Adonai Eloheinu, Ve'yishachadu, Ve'yishachadu, Ve'ha'aratza. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu.
We may be seated. So, stay. Stay.
You want me to just hold it? Why don't you-
Yeah, if you
Yeah,
would.
I know.
why don't you just hold it over?
It's a tough job, but Natalie, I know, is up to it. So, this week's portion is Parshat Ekev. which a little bird just whispered to me was somebody's bat mitzvah portion last year. Just little birds, self-controlling. We are in the book of Deuteronomy. This is the second of the weekly portions for the book of Deuteronomy, which, as we may recall, the entire, 99-point-something% of the book of Deuteronomy is Moses talking. For a man who told God at the burning bush that he is a man of few words, he sure learned how to talk in the next 40 years, didn't he? But this is Moses' farewell address to the folks. He knows by now he is not going to be allowed to cross into the land. He's argued with God. There's some wonderful midrash about Moses arguing with God about that, but that's for another time. And he is retelling almost the entire story since they all left Egypt 40 years earlier. And you'd think, didn't we just read all of that in the last half of Exodus and all of Leviticus and all of Numbers? Yeah, we did. But that was some unnamed outside narrator telling us the story, God, if you will, or other theories abound. But this is Moses giving his version, and it's very, very interesting to see sometimes what the differences are between what we read before and now the way Moses is telling the story from his very own personal perspective. So the little piece that we're going to read tonight is Moses reminding the folks how they were really bad for a long time. This whole story of the 40 years wandering in the desert, I've told some of you this, I think, before, but I always had this image in my mind of the world's biggest passenger van with Moses driving. And all the Israelites in all the back rows, like little kids. Like, are we there yet? I got no pie. She touched me. And so on. Right. And so on. Well, Moses is telling the people right where we are here, he went up the mountain, he got the first set of tablets, he came back down the mountain, and there all the folks are making a golden calf, bowing down to an idol. He throws down the tablets in disgust, deals with the malefactors, and then goes back up the mountain, right, to get another set. And here, now, God is angry, right? And as we're going to see, God's really angry and wants to wipe out all of the Israelites and start over again, just with Moses this time. God thinks it's going to be better. Didn't learn with Noah, did God? No. Okay. So keep in mind, as you're reading this, everybody that's ever told you that God never changes, God is immutable, right? God changing God's mind. How is such a thing possible? He's a Jewish God, folks. God is, in our tradition, sometimes there's a word that's translated sometimes as that God is a jealous God. That's not a good translation. A better translation for that would be that God is a passionate God. And our God is indeed a passionate God. So we're going to see what happens now as Moses tells the story of his confrontation with God over God's, being completely fed up with us. And we'll see what happens. I would like to invite up for the Aliyah to the Torah.
I didn't know how many people would come up, so I just took them all.
Okay. Anyone, we'll read the list later, but anyone who has a birthday or a wedding anniversary this month is invited, and/or, right, because I know we got some doubles, are invited up from the name mitzvah aid and is invited to come up to the Aliyah.
One must be Jewish, yes?
Yes.
It's a skinny one.
All right. Take the corner of the talit and touch it to the beginning of the reading right there. And some people kiss it. And say the blessing.
Baraku et Adonai Hambarak.
Baruch Adonai Baruch Leolam Vaed.
Baruch Adonai Baruch Leolam Vaed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam asher boka banu mikol hamim v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Ve'etnapel lifnei Adonai, and I fell on my face before Adonai, et arba'im hayom ve'et arba'im halayla, for 40 days and 40 nights, asher hitnapalti, and I fell down before God, because ki amar Adonai lehashmid etchem, that God said that God would destroy you, the people. Ve'etpalel el Adonai, and I prayed to Adonai, ve'amar Adonai Elohim al tishchat amcha, and I prayed to God, Lord my God, don't destroy your people. Ve'nachalat echa, and your inheritance, asher padita begodlecha, and whom you saved in your greatness, asher hotzeita miMitzrayim, whom you took out of Egypt, b'yad chazakah, with a strong hand. Zechor la'avadecha, la'Avraham, la'Yitzchak, u'Yaakov. Remember your servants Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Al tifen el koshi ha'am. Don't take it out on these people. Ha'am hazeh. Ve'al rasha'o ve'al chatato, because of its wickedness and its sins. Pen yomru ha'aretz, lest all the peoples of the earth say, asher hotzeitanu ha'aretz asher hotzeitanu misham, all of the people of the land out of which you took us, mibli yecholet Adonai lahavi'am el ha'aretz, that you did not have the power to take us into our own land, asher diber lahem umisinato otam hotziam lahamatam, and you just took them out in order to kill them, b'midbar, in the wilderness. V'hem amcha v'nachalatcha, and they are your people and your inheritance. Asher hotzeta b'kochacha, whom you took out with your power, kochacha hagadol, your great power, uv'zroacha hanetuya, and with your outstretched arm.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam, asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nota b'tukenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. right. Willie and Marge, if you could. We are going to, or Willie is going to raise the Torah for us, and Marge will help dress it. And as the Torah is raised, we rise as we are able.
Page 370.
O Torah, Asher Zamosha, Lifnei Bnei Yisrael, Al Pi Adonai, V'yad Moshe. Torah, 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 Tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 Tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 Tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 Tziva lanu Moshe.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. You may be seated. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal all those who are ill, including Marty Goldberg, who underwent an outpatient surgery this morning to remove some hardware from his foot after his famous skiing accident. Marty, if you're watching, I wish you a speedy recovery. Those who may not be aware, this little camera right here, we stream the services, when we have services, on the internet.
Worldwide, okay.
What was that?
It's streamed worldwide.
Worldwide. You can get it anywhere that you can get the internet. So, I also want to mention in this prayer for healing those who were wounded in hate crimes in Israel and the West Bank last week. Yarden Avichai ben Shlomit, Sa'ad Dawabshe, Raham Dawabshe, and Ahmed Dawabshe. If you have anyone that you would like to include in this prayer for healing as I look around the room, please either speak the name aloud or in your heart as you prefer.
Anastasio de la Garza.
Fritz Mulhauser. Ricky Morris, Liz and Greg Lippa.
Janet Stolman and Zach Sloan. Seki Rothka.
Lynette Young Springberg.
Peter Springberg. Roland Strassen.
John Rosling. Arlene Abels.
Davina Silverstein.
Fred Friedman and Pakistan. Mr. and Mrs. Lava, Simcha Batita, Alana Bakraholi.
May the Blessed Holy One be filled with compassion for their health, to be restored, and their strength to be revived. May God swiftly send them a complete renewal of body and spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Page 371.
Help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. page 374, we return the Torah to the ark, and as we are able, we rise. Any vote on the guitar yet?
Yes.
Sure. Rick, when the dogs come running in, whistle. Well, good to see everybody. Good to share Shabbat with all of you. It's wonderful to be here with you. Hopefully yesterday, everybody got the weekly email from Lenny, who does such a wonderful job with that. And yesterday's, if you've noticed, included an invitation to join me for Torah study tomorrow morning, starting at 10 a.m. And since the Rivendell School isn't ready for us yet, I'm told that they're in the middle of all kinds of really neat refurbishings and redoings, and it's going to be really nice. But not available to us till the end of the month. So for tomorrow and later in the month, we'll also meet. We'll do our study at the Wild Boar Cafe on College Avenue, which seems like a perfectly good place to have Torah study, right? Cafe named after a wild pig. Whatever. We do what we got to do. And I really appreciated, Lenny, something that you added. Lenny had asked me for a little paragraph that he could send out, and you added something which I really appreciated, and I'm glad you thought of it when I didn't. And that is that Torah study does not have to be intimidating. And that is so true. I know a lot of people are intimidated by it, but there's no need. There are a lot of different ways of studying Torah. Yes, I agree. Some of them can be intimidating. Some of them intimidate me.